And good morning. It's 7:03 on this Monday, February 17th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody. It is a Monday morning. It's President's Day, and for some people, it's a holiday, but not for us, and probably not for many of you. We're glad to have you tuned in, and we're glad to be on the air for Absolute Kubota. We've got Don Hamlin here this morning who can say hello to everybody.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm great.
Weekend good?
Oh, yeah, great.
But you're working today, too.
Absolutely.
We start every Monday morning off with a representative from Absolute Kubota. Absolute Kubota specializes in the sale of Kubota tractors, hay equipment, zero-turn mowers, and RTVs. They also carry Exmark mowers. Exmark is one of the top-selling zero-turn mowers in the country. Now, they're located in the same building as Absolute Rental and Supply, which specializes in tool and equipment rental. And again, we've got Don Hamlin with us today. Don is one of the salespeople at Absolute Kubota, which is open Monday through Friday from 7 to 5, 7 to 4 on Saturdays. And they're located at 1325 West Main in Lebanon behind Advance Auto Parts. Look for their big sign. Look for the orange tractors. Their phone number, 615-449-6171. The website, www.absolutekubota.com. You can also check them out on Facebook. Well, we're starting the week off with a nice day. It's probably 38, 39, 40 degrees, something like that this morning. I didn't see hardly any frost, and it's been a little bit cloudy overnight, too. Another reason, probably.
But it's going to get warm.
It's going to get warm, up in the 50s, maybe
64 or so, maybe, and I'm pretty excited about that. And I think everybody is looking forward to spring. I think spring is going to break early this year. I think whatever way the groundhog did or didn't see a shadow, whichever way that worked out, I believe he thought
he saw it here, but he didn't see it where it comes up in Pennsylvania.
Okay, but I think that means spring's going to come early up there. So, but I really feel like that's going to be happening. Miss Lynn and I were talking just a minute ago. You know that she said she got her pre-emergent out. If you have crabgrass problems or some other things going on in your yard, that's what you're going to need to do right now. It'll be 2 rounds. You'll do your first round now, and about 6 weeks from now, you'll do another round, and it's just part of the process of getting it going. And we've got all that stuff in stock. We've been talking about Ben Spurlock, our new guy that we've got on with us. He's a specialist in that. If you call in, you've got any kind of thing going on out in your yard about what is that growing in my beautiful grass, he can come out, help you with that. We've got some new soils tests we're doing this year. We'll give you a little baggie, a little plugger. You can go out in your yard, pull a few plugs of soil, get that scent off, and see what you need to do to your lawn to get it looking its best.
When you're doing the pre-emergent, how big a job is that?
Oh, it's not very big at all. It's just a broadcast spreader. You can just walk across your yard, or depending on how big your yard is, you may want to have a pull behind broadcast spreader, but it's no big deal at all.
Rent those?
Oh yeah, you can rent them over at the Absolute Rental if you don't have one yourself. Yeah. Get you taken care of, or you could probably hire somebody locally to do it if you don't want to get out in your yard and walk around. It's no big deal.
But you just broadcast that over the yard and do it a couple of times, about 6 weeks apart.
Yep.
And then it keeps that crabgrass and other undesirables from coming up. Does it kill them? What?
It just keeps them from ever germinating.
Okay.
They kind of go dormant in the wintertime, kind of like a Bermuda or my zoysia grass does, and it just keeps it from germinating.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's really a popular thing, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
for those who really want a beautiful.
Yeah. Some people don't care. They wish they just had artificial turf out in their yard. They didn't have to do anything but come home, and chill out. But but for people who wants their property to look nice, it's very important, to overseed and aerate in the fall and put fertilizers out. And it is a year-long process. It's just something you can't do it once and walk away from it and go, it's done. It's beautiful.
Right. If we have an early spring, we're going to be getting those lawnmowers started earlier.
Yeah.
And if yours is not in good shape, you need to get it there, and you can take care of that even today.
Oh, we got a great service department. It really is a great time. Please don't wait until your grass is 8 inches tall and, you're coming in freaking out thinking I got to get my lawnmower serviced. Bring it on in right now. things aren't real busy, super busy out in the shop, and most of our customers aren't super busy. Just bring them in, drop them off, and a few days later come back. They'll have the blade sharpened, oil changed. You'll be ready to go when it gets warm for you.
And especially today, if you don't have to work today, if you're one of the chosen few who get today
if you're
off, today would be a great day, and you're probably going to have a few people come in because they're off today.
Oh, yeah, I would hope they would. It'd be a great day to come in and look around. Maybe you've been thinking about, upgrading. Maybe you have a lawn tractor and you want to get into some type of zero-turn mower. If you've never been on one, come in. I'll get out back with you. We've got a big lot back there. We'll get you on it and let you see how easy and comfortable they are to use.
It's an amazing experience that first time.
Oh, it is. I mean, I can't tell you how many times, we have people come in and, they're like, well, I've never been on one before. And, and you'll set them down for a few minutes and start them off slow. And next thing you know, they're zipping around back there with a big smile on their face, and they love it. It's so much easier to mow grass with it.
Have I ever told you how my wife reacted the first time we got that lawnmower home?
No, you haven't. What happened?
Well, I had tried it out a little, not with the blade wasn't engaged in it, just riding it. And of course, you got those levers rather than a steering wheel. So she jumps on there and makes one round and comes back. I hate this thing. But she stayed on it, and before you know it, she started mowing the yard. That's the best investment I think I've made.
For sure, it had to be the best investment you made. That's great. Yeah,
she loves it.
Oh yeah, they're great. They're easy.
Turn is wonderful.
It's the way to go.
Well, we've almost exhausted our time. You got any specials going right now?
Just all the 0% financing on everything. There's no need to reach into your purse or your glove box, your truck, and get your checkbook out and write a check. You can get 0 down, 0% financing. Pretty much everything that we have there, and it's just using somebody else's money. It's a great way to go.
And right now, you are open until 5, but in about another month, less than a month.
Yeah, less than a month.
3 weeks away. Yeah. You're going to be open until 6.
Yes, well, it's coming up. It'll be 7 to 6 through the week, and it's always 7 to 4 on Saturdays here in Lebanon.
All right. Well, we're glad to have you here today. Hope you have a good week, and see you next Monday.
See you Monday.
All right. That is it for Absolute Kubota, and we thank Don Hammett for coming out and doing the commercial this morning, taking us to 10:30 after the hour. State Representative Susan Lynn is here this morning. Good morning to you.
Hi, good morning, Coleman. How are you?
Your alternate Monday to be here, and we're glad to have you. Now, I know you're not much of a sports enthusiast, but I do want to get this out this morning.
You go ahead.
May mention it again. It'll be real short, but just congratulations to Coach Woody Hunt of the Cumberland Bulldogs. Mm-hmm. He won his 1,600th baseball game.
Wow.
His team did. He has 1,600 career wins. I don't know whether they're all at Cumberland or not. I think they may be. But anyway, congratulations, Coach Woody Hunt. That's
congratulations.
Another milestone.
That is quite an
Well,
achievement.
how you been?
I've been well, thank you. I've been well, except you hear my voice is a little scratchy. I have that little bit of drip that everybody has, and everybody has a slightly hoarse voice. I find a lot of people have that, so that's going on. But I'm excited. Today is President's Day.
Mm-hmm.
The traffic was down outside. The children are off from school. The banks are closed. The post office is closed. State government is closed. County government is closed, except for the Election Commission.
Oh.
They are holding early voting today, and I hope folks will show up and vote and pick their choice of candidate for the president and other offices that are running.
Had not even thought about that, but with a lot of people having the day off, it would be a
great day.
Good time for them to go.
Absolutely. That was really so smart of Philip Warren to open today because people have the day off and they can conveniently go vote. I'm going to go over there about 8 a.m. and I'm going to cast my vote, and I'm also going to pick up a petition to run for re-election.
Okay. What do you want to talk about this morning?
What do I want to talk about? Boy, so much happens in 2 weeks, Coleman. I can't even remember it all. But let me think. What do you want to talk about? I don't know. There's so much. I mean, the budget.
I have
you heard the governor's speech, did you?
Have your weekly wrap, and
two of them.
I either saw it or heard a lot about it, and we've talked to the other two representatives, Senator Pody and Representative Clark Boyd, about it. You were here the day off, so you knew some of what he was going to say. But we haven't really talked about it. And one of the things he's proposed quite a bit of spending, And I guess the first thing that comes to my mind is, can we afford it? But is that a concern of yours?
Yes, it is a concern of mine. With this budget, the state budget, unbelievably, will be $40.7 billion. It is hard to believe. It truly is hard to believe. But $900 million of that is recurring. The rest is non-recurring. So the things we're spending it on are non-recurring expenses. 900 million of it is recurring. So what does that mean? That means our economic growth in Tennessee grew at a rate where the tax collections support a $900 million increase. And if you think about it, what the governor is doing, we are making a $250 million endowment for education, for mental health services. And I think I kind of alluded to that the last time I was on. When you talk to teachers, one of the biggest things they say is that they really need help with the kids who have problems in the classroom. Maybe 1, 2, or 3 kids in the classroom, but that is enough to disturb the education for everyone else. And there really is not the best help for them now. So there'll be a $250 million endowment to provide help for these students. $100 million will go back to our cities and counties in the form of grants. And Wilson County should get about $700,000 from that. And that will go back in the form of grants that they can use that for various things in the county. So that will be very, very helpful. The overall increase in spend for public education, now this is including the $250 million for public education, is $600 million increase in spend for public education, $117 million for teacher salary. So that is the most ever in the entire history of the state that we've ever added as an increase for teacher salaries. And what the governor's goal is, he stated, is that he wants to get the minimum starting teacher salary up to $40,000 a year. This $117 million will bring it to $38,000 a year at minimum. Now, some counties, because they put in more money, their teachers already start at $40,000 or above their starting salary. So there's many counties, though, that are very poor, distressed, and their teachers do not. So this is going to help accomplish that, and that'll be very, very helpful. The governor's also putting money into the rainy day fund to set that back and reserve that. And I'll tell you, the money we put into the rainy day fund really does help Tennessee with our AAA bond rating. Means when Tennessee borrows money, we borrow at the lowest rate possible. But another thing the rainy day fund does, and having a healthy rainy day fund, is it shows we are a stable state. It shows stability. And when businesses are looking to relocate their corporate headquarters, they want to look for a state that has stability and also really good education scores. You know, here in Wilson County, where our ACTs are over 21, which is great, and many students go way ahead. One of the young ladies I work with, her son is 18. Right out of the gate, the young man got a 28 on his ACT, and boy, is she proud.
Oh, yeah.
And she said, "Should I make him take it again?" I said, "I tortured my children to make them take it again, so you may as well." So anyway, there are a lot of good things going on, but I do want people to think of it that a lot of the money that is being spent, also don't forget about the sales tax holiday and all of that, is being either saved or somehow given back. And then the other things are investments in things like education, mental health, and also our technical schools, technical education. We're expanding an apprenticeship program so that a lot of folks, maybe they get out of being incarcerated, they need a job. If you don't have a job, you might go back and reoffend. You might fall into whatever it was that got you incarcerated in the first place. So expanding an apprenticeship program, that'll be really good for businesses because they can hire someone and go through this apprenticeship program. There's steps with it, and the steps are designed to encourage, learning on the job, of course, encourage skills, but also designed to encourage that routine and stability that, most people have and some don't.
We've got to take a break right here. State Representative Susan Lynn is here. We've got more to talk about after this break on Coleman & Company, FM 98.9.
And to 720, let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford and the Works Vehicle Checkup, they'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road. 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal, tire rotation, and safety check. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Well, good morning. So far, so good. As far as really bad interstate accidents, traffic still moving right along down Ellingson Parkway right now, all the way from the top down to the bottom. Trying to get through Madison right now. Not too bad. It's a little bit lighter than normal on 65 southbound there. It's busy, however, there by Trinity Lane. Hey, Prince's Hot Chicken is the original hot chicken in Middle Tennessee. You may have heard the name before, never tried it. Maybe you've tried it and you hadn't had it in a long time. Go by today. Prince's Hot Chicken, 5814 Nolensville Pike. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Tackle all kinds of jobs around your place with a highly versatile Kubota L-Series tractor. They're comfortable, spacious, and easy to control with performance-matched implements. And a genuine Kubota diesel engine for years of reliable service. Right now, get a Kubota L-Series with a 6-year warranty, plus 0% APR financing for up to 60 months, and great customer instant rebates. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information. Stop by Absolute Kubota, AbsoluteKubota.com.
Cumberland University Baseball is live this season on WANT and WCOR. Tune in for all of the home games and all of the Mid-South Conference matchups with Coach Woody Hunt's 3-time champion Cumberland Phoenix baseball team. Mitch Walters brings you all of the action on WANT FM 98.9 and WCOR AM 1490. For a complete schedule, visit GoCumberlandAthletics.com. It's live Cumberland University Baseball on WANT and WCOR.
Coleman & Company, thanks for joining us here on a Monday morning. State Representative Susan Lynn is here every other week. I don't know what is every other week.
Bi-weekly?
I guess. Anyway, we're always glad to have you and get your input on what's going on in the legislature. And, of course, being chairman of the Finance Committee in the House, prestigious, maybe, I guess, really the most prestigious committee you're chairman of. And a lot of responsibility there, and a lot more time of yours is devoted in that area.
Oh, yes. We are so busy, Coleman. You have no idea. And I'm fortunate because in this position I get to, meet with the governor every week. I go to his breakfast on Wednesday mornings, and it's just a leadership breakfast. And we all just sit and talk freely about what's going on, what we've learned. We share. Things are really adjusted by us sharing, or things are explained by us sharing with each other so that we can keep that communication going. And it's really helpful.
One of the things is in your weekly rep has to do with the real ID process.
Right.
And I don't know if we got a late start here in Tennessee. If everybody would jump on this, it would had earlier and continue to, it'd probably be a smoother process, but so many people do wait to the last minute. You got till next October 1st, I believe.
That's right.
And you really need that most likely you're going to need that real ID. And of course, there's going to be some people that don't have it by then, I guess. But getting it has been a problem for some people. It has been
long
lines. Long wait, yeah.
Long lines. And in Wilson County in particular, it seems that people are coming in from other counties because they just figure they might not have to wait as long coming to Wilson County. But no, Tennessee didn't get a late start on it. There was a point certain when we could start issuing the real ID because of the federal guidelines. And actually a lot of, really, the federal guidelines, Tennessee actually had that in place. It's just a matter of everybody coming in and getting that real ID license. Now, if you've had your license a long, long time, they might not have taken those documents from you when you got your license. But a lot of the new folks who got here within the last few years, those documents were taken from you. And when you go in, it's really just a matter of getting that license with the insignia on it, showing that it's a real ID. The commissioner is hiring 80 additional positions across the state. So, some of the rural areas where there's not a lot of demand, they're not going to see any of those positions. But some of the places where there's higher demand, like Wilson County, will see some of those positions.
Can you go? Let me just pick on somebody. Clay County is not a big pie. Can I go to Clay County and get mine if I want to?
Yes, you can.
Well, I've already got mine, but
Yeah.
I mean, if
you do? Good.
Who wanted?
Yeah, I don't have mine yet.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, okay. So anywhere, but and then that might be sort of a word to the wise. Spread it out, give them a little bit more.
Take a drive out in the country.
Yeah, there you go.
That'd be nice on a spring day.
At least we are aware of that, and the problem is being looked at and addressed to the extent that 80 more people are being hired to help the process.
It truly is. It truly is. Hey, everybody might want to know that we officially named Tennessee the volunteer state. Do you know it was never official? We were never officially the volunteer state. So we are now officially the volunteer state. Last week, who did I meet with? The city of Mount Juliet. They all came down and we talked to TDOT about our roads. I think they were astounded to see how many projects are actually going on in Wilson County. There's a tremendous amount of TDOT work going on right now in Wilson County, and they're trying to move ahead a few projects, and they're working on their engineering and all of that, and they just wanted to touch base with TDOT, kind of where are we and what's our little checklist on what we have to do in order to move these projects forward. And a lot of it is give and take. The city does something and then the state has to review it or have it reviewed. And then the city has to, after that's reviewed and approved, the city has to go back and then do a little bit more.
Is there any particular urgency in any one project, maybe? And I'm thinking of the Central Pike Exchange.
Golly, yes. We want all of our projects. We want them all. So they're all urgent. And what occurred to me, and the reason why I wanted to have this meeting, is that when you look at the projects in the Improve Act, every single project in the Improve Act is either underway or completed, except in the city of Mount Juliet. And the city of Mount Juliet had said that they were going to do the engineering and do some things that, to move the project along. And unfortunately, it's taken a while. And so they had their meeting, they've got their to-do list, checklist, everybody's on the same page. And, we just want these projects to move forward.
Are you still thinking that the session's going to be relatively short and be out early or middle April?
Yes, we want to be out by Easter. Really what will happen is we will pass the budget the week before Easter. We will go home for Easter. And then when we come back the next week, we will just pass those final bills that are behind the budget. And see, what happens is that term behind the budget sounds odd, but we have to actually pass a budget, appropriate the amount of spending before we can pass bills that spend money, because the money isn't there until we pass the budget. So we have to pass the budget, it appropriates the spending, then we come back and pass those bills that cost money in the next budget year. So they're called behind the budget. We have to put them behind the budget and pass the budget first.
Well, I believe the deadline has come and gone for filing bills.
It has. No more bills can be filed.
So
that's right.
They're all going through the committee process.
Correct.
This sort of thing.
Correct.
Are you think we're where we ought to be at this time as far as hearing those and the process?
The committees are working very, very hard. All the subcommittees, we have subcommittees in the House. They're all working very, very hard. They are moving the bills through to full committee, and the bills are coming into Finance Committee. So everybody's doing their job, I think the Speaker has really, really good subcommittee and full committee chairman, and they are moving things along.
Well, now, are there a lot of bills that die when they get to your committee?
There are bills that will die when they get to my committee. We cannot fund everything. Yeah. We just can't. And so we have to prioritize. And that's why our committee works so hard to understand the bill, understand what it's going to do, understand, and really, we have to, really prioritize and say, what is going to give us the most benefit here.
I would think that there are times maybe it's a good bill, but we just really don't want to spend money in that direction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that happens a lot. And some folks, they will get upset about that, but, it's no disrespect is meant towards that legislator. It's really more respect for the taxpayer.
Well, we got about a minute and a half. What do you think's coming up in the next next 2 weeks actually until you're here again?
Well, we will continue to hear from a few select state departments that have a big spend in the budget. We had education last week. They're coming back this week. We just had more questions. $600 million going towards education this year. We want to thoroughly understand the programs that they're initiating. And then after that, we will have mental health because that is a big spend in the budget too. And that's about it.
Well, we hope it's a good 2 weeks for you, and certainly appreciate you being with us today. And we'll see how it all shakes out, but keep taking care of us, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
All right. State Representative Susan Lett, and that is it for Part 1 of Coleman and Company. We've got more coming up, so please keep it here, FM 98.9.
Thank you.
All right, now at 7:29, let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank Absolute Kubota and Rental, fully staffed service center and parts department. Most of their minor services can be done the same day. Servicing Exmark, Kubota, Land Pride, Red Max, and Billy Goat, 1325 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Police cars up against the wall here coming out of Rutherford County on 24 westbound here at Hickory Hollow Parkway. Again, that's 24 westbound. 2 cars are up against the wall. Traffic starting to move around now a bit here on 65 approaching Trinity Lane. It's been lighter than normal out here this morning, but traffic still looking pretty good. 40 coming in from Dixon County. Donut Distillery in East Nashville offers delicious mini donuts, signature donuts, famous whiskey glaze. Go by and see them today at Donut Distillery in East Nashville, 311 Gallatin Avenue. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Hey guys, it's Trent Perry, co-host of the Scoreboard Show, alongside John Boyce, Jeremiah Weiser, and Jonathan the Jet Thompson. For the first time ever, we will be expanding our show into the high school basketball season. Tune in every Friday night from 9 to 11 p.m. to receive scores and to catch up with your Wilson County basketball coaches, including the coaches over at Cumberland University. The Scoreboard Show was sponsored by Designer Carpets, Absolute Kubota, K-Mander State Farm Insurance, Sheriff Robert Bryan, Lebanon Police Chief Mike Justice, Dickey's Barbecue, and Southeast Motorsports. I'm Trent Perry, and this is WANT 98.9.
Caring for a loved one is as natural as the weather, but just like the weather, one moment it's sunny, and the next, you find yourself in the middle of a storm. So when it came time to take care of my dad, I knew I needed help. A reprieve from the storm, so to speak. That's when I found the Pavilion Senior Living. They have expertise and experience to weather the storms in your loved one's life. And now, I can rest easy. Thank you, Pavilion Senior Living. You should visit thepavilionseniorliving.com to find out more.
Hi, I'm Javen Cripps, and I'm running to be your next circuit court judge. It's been an honor to serve you as an assistant district attorney for the last 13 years. For the last 5 years, I've spent most of my time in Macon County. Judge Wooten has served us well for 21 years and is now retired. I'm confident that I have the skills and experience necessary to fill the position. Serving as your circuit court judge would be my honor, and nobody will work harder to serve with honesty and integrity. I'm Javen Cripps, asking for your vote.
Paid for by the committee to elect Javen Cripps for circuit judge, Madeline Jennings, treasurer.
You see it in their smile, you read it in their reviews, and you hear it all over town. People love the way they're treated at Wilson County Motors. Honest, upfront pricing, top dollar on every trade, and one of the largest selections of new and pre-owned vehicles around. Wilson County Motors aims to exceed your expectations in every way possible. Get your Mitchell discount at Wilson County Motors in Lebanon, just 20 minutes east of the Nashville Airport. WilsonCountyMotors.com.
Gregory Dental in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from University Medical Center. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Bador Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
To kick off the work week, we'll have cloudy skies with temperatures topping out in the mid-50s. Rain showers will begin to develop tonight, so make sure to pack the umbrella if you have any plans. Rain showers will continue on Tuesday with temperatures climbing up into the mid-60s. Cooler air does look to arrive by midweek. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty. Professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist TJ Scott.
Coleman & Company, we welcome you to part 2. It is a Monday morning. It's this time we talk about Rocky Williams, Premier, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Mountain Wheel, and Billy Mullinax is always here with us.
Good morning, Coleman.
Good to see you again.
It's always good to be here.
Both had good weekends.
Yes, we did.
But there's hardly ever a bad weekend. I love the weekend. But I love the week, too.
I love the week, too.
And we love Monday mornings because you come and kind of brighten up our day.
Well, thank you, Coleman.
Well, Rocky Williams, Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Mount Jude, located at 600 Pleasant Grove Road. It is on the north side of the interstate, Mount Juliet, easily accessible, and over there close to Walmart and to
Academy Sports. Right next door, Coleman.
Billy Mullinax is the general manager, and they feature no haggle pricing. Everybody pays the same great low price.
That's right. Yep. That's right. I could sleep in, Coleman. I think I could sleep in, and you could get through this just absolutely fine.
Well, now, there's no question we can get through it, but it won't be the same if you're not.
Well, you're very kind. Well, I always enjoy being here, Coleman, because we do get to talk about no haggle pricing, where everybody pays the same great low price. We price our cars and not our customers. It's a unique way of doing business, where regardless of who you know or who you don't know, you still get a great low price, and you don't even have to try to.
And that's just the way you do it, and it's I think there's no doubt some uniqueness in the way that you do this. There's others who maybe I don't know whether they call it no haggle or not, but they will. I don't think they go to the extremes that you do to be sure that you are truly no haggle, and you don't make exceptions. Like you say, even you or Rocky's children pay the same price that I would pay.
That's exactly right, Coleman. And you pay the same price that everybody else would pay. We've known each other a long, long time. And most automotive and most of the industry, Coleman, you could walk in, especially who you are, you could walk in any dealership, certainly in Wilson County, and get a lower price than what most people would pay.
Well,
but when you start and finish at the lowest price that you can sell the car for, Coleman, you don't have any place to go.
There you go. Well, where a lot of people do go and where they get started is RockyWilliams.com.
Might see your neighbor there, Coleman.
RockyWilliams.com, where the entire inventory of new and pre-owned cars is there. Your inventory's there with the no haggle price.
Yep.
And that again, you're so transparent. There's nothing to hide.
That's right. We have nothing to hide, Coleman. We give you our best price right up front. It's on the windshield of the car. It's also on our website, and you don't have to do anything to get it. It's just there. Regardless of who you are, you don't have to send us your email address. You don't have to send us your name. You don't have to send us your phone number. All you have to do is shop online, and our very best price is right there.
Well, really, there are probably people who will visit your website. I guess you know how many hits they call it.
Yes.
You have, but other than that, you don't know who has done it. And they may come to see you, they may not. But they've gotten the information, and you've been totally transparent with them.
That's right, and we want to make it easy, Coleman. This, just like the rest of the sales process, we want it to be very easy and very stress-free for them. And And it is because of the one price. There's not all of the negotiating, and it's just a matter of, Coleman, it's a matter of, can you afford the vehicle, and does it meet your needs? Mm-hmm. And that's the only things that you have to really look at.
Well, you've got you've got a great selection. You always have this. Sometimes your inventory is a little larger than others, I guess, but you sell a bunch, you got to replace them. But that's part of being general manager.
Well, that's right, Coleman. Right now, we've got about 320 new vehicles, and we've got about 220 pre-owned vehicles. So got a great selection, got something to meet everybody's needs in as far as the vehicle, but also in price.
And today being a holiday for some people, being President's Day, if you're off today, this would be a great day to come visit, see the showroom, see the aquarium that Billy is so proud of.
That's right.
Talk about most of the time.
We'll be there from 8 o'clock this morning till 9 o'clock tonight, Coleman.
Yeah, 13 hours a day.
13
Monday
hours a day,
Saturday.
Monday through Saturday.
Well, I hope you have a great day, have a great week, and we'll get back here next Monday and we can talk about it again.
Well, I bet I'll be here next Monday.
All right. Thank you so much. Billy Mullinax, General Manager for Rocky Williams, Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram of Mount Juliet, 600 Pleasant Grove Road. No haggle pricing. Everybody pays the same great low price. We're about 21 before the hour, and we've got two more candidates that are on the March 3rd ballot to talk to, and one of them is here with us today, even though it's a holiday, and he would be off otherwise. He is here to talk about his candidacy, but he's unopposed for General Sessions Judge Inslee Hagen. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
I feel like I imposed on you a little bit, but when I left you a message, I told you this is the only slot I've got left. The others are full. And by the way, our public defender, Shelley Gardner, is supposed to be here Wednesday. As I told you, I had the two of you left, and I had Monday and Wednesday left, and I called her first, ladies first, She says, I'll take Wednesday.
No imposition at all, Coleman. I'm happy to be here. It's my pleasure.
Well, we're glad to have you. And I may do this just a little bit different. You're unopposed. You were appointed to this position,
County Commission November of 2018, and I took office January of 19.
And so you've got, a little over a year under your belt.
A little over 13 months, that's right.
And so now are you in the Republican primary?
I am indeed.
All right. And then there'll still be the general election in
August 6th.
For your re-election or whatever. Okay.
To fill the unexpired term of Judge Gwynn, correct.
Okay. You have even substituted for me at least once and did a great job.
Thank you.
And you've had some experience in radio as well as, but you found out that the lawyer profession is a little more productive. Unless you're a hot shot salesman or own a big radio station, you're probably better equipped for making a living being a lawyer, I think.
Radio was fun. It was a great education for 6 years in Knoxville, but it's not what you would call lucrative if you're in the news department, we'll say.
Well, tell us sort of an opening statement or whatever. Get us going here. Tell us a little bit about you, if you will.
So I'm Wilson County native, grew up here, graduated from Lebanon High School in 1994, went to college, then went into radio for several years, came back, graduated from MTSU, graduated from University of Memphis Law School. That's where I met my wife, Andrea. She's also a lawyer. We live here in Lebanon. We have 3 children, Emmeline, who's 6, Inslee, who is 4, and Natalie, who is 20 months. So we've got a busy household. My wife is busy taking care of our children. Luckily, she's willing to do that, and she's kind of what we call a reformed lawyer. She's not really practicing anymore, but she's an author, and so she stays quite busy managing the household. And I started practicing May 1st of 2007. Judge Byrd actually swore me in early. Found out we passed the bar in April, and the Supreme Court wasn't going to swear everybody in until the end of June, first part of July, and I needed to get to work. I needed to start making money, so we found out that one of our local judges could swear you in, and so my dad arranged for Judge Byrd to swear me in May 1st, 2007, and I hit the ground running at that point and did general trial practice, really, until the last several years before I took the bench. And then I kind of focused on family law and probate, which is the jurisdiction that I have now as a judge.
Well, let me say that I saw your mother Saturday night and told her you were going to be on this morning. Oh, I'll be sure and be listening.
Well, and I hate that I missed y'all Saturday night, but my mother is the one who provides childcare for us, and unfortunately we couldn't find other arrangements, so we missed you. We did sponsor a table, but we were not able to join you with the Senior Citizen Center.
We're talking about the fundraiser, the Valentine's dinner they call it, for the Lebanon Senior Citizen Center. And it was a nice occasion, good meal, and a lot of fun.
That's what I hear.
And I was starting to tell you a story, and I'm going to be a little bit more relaxed. I mean, you're unopposed. You just want to be here and let everybody know you're on the ballot. Come vote for me. And
I put up a few signs.
And if you don't have any opponent, you don't expect enough write-ins to defeat you. That's for sure.
No, I figured Mickey Mouse will get a few votes, Donald Duck, but yeah.
Your daddy, Tony Hagan, worked here at one time. And at the time part of the time when he was working here, we had a gentleman named Randall Newman who was sort of the boss, I guess, of the AM or whatever. Anyway, Tony was on in the afternoon from 3 to 6. Or anyway, he got here as soon as possible after school, and usually he's here by the time the news ended at 3:05, and he took over. Well, Randall had an opportunity to sell this program called Our Changing World with Earl Nightingale, and he put it, I think, at 3:45, right in the middle of Tony's record show. And you know, being a disc jockey, you don't like a 5-minute interruption. You say, well, put it at 5 minutes to 4 right before the news, and then that way I've got a longer break or whatever. But anyway, that's where it was, and Tony had to run it. He got so irritated about that for several days after the program started, as soon as Earl Nightingale ended, he would play the song by Frank Sinatra called Something Stupid.
That sounds like my dad. Yeah,
you ever heard that story?
I think you may have told me that before, but I'd forgotten about it. That's quite funny.
That's true, but he was a delight to work with.
Well, thank you.
And of course, he was just, in high school. He was learning his way, of course, at the time. And,
sure.
And wasn't going to spend his whole life in radio like some of us have done. But anyway, I thought I would share that this morning.
He actually, my grandfather built him a radio station there behind their home on Castle Heights Avenue many years ago. I think he was about 13 or 14. And built a cinder block building, and he had a little low-powered AM station that he had as a teenager. And so he actually wanted to stay in radio all of his life, but I think like me, he realized that he needed to make a living, and doing radio wasn't going to be it.
What got you into radio, other than maybe having something to do and make a little money?
Well, I think my dad's interest in radio kind of caused me to have that also interest. And when I went to Knoxville, I really wasn't ready to finish college. It just I wasn't mature enough, to be quite frank with you. And I needed some time to grow up. And I got lucky enough to work at WIVK and WNOX for 6 years, and it did incredible things. They sent me to Washington, D.C. to cover Ways and Means hearings in the House of Representatives. I was on the ground in Manhattan 4 days after September the 11th, and I actually, within because I traveled with law enforcement, I got to go inside the cordoned off area and see the smoldering rubble. It was still smoldering at that time, but I just got to do incredible things. I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to work in radio. I really am.
Well, it's time for us to take a break. Inslee Hagan is with us this morning, candidate for General Sessions Judge, Division 3. Unopposed, but he's here to talk about it, and we got more to talk about after this break. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:48. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks, Absolute Kubota and Rental, fully staffed service center and parts department. Most of their minor services can be done the same day. Servicing Exmark, Kubota, Land Pride, Red Max, and Billy Goat, 1325 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Well, good morning. Cars up against the wall here on 24. It is westbound, right near Hickory Hollow Parkway. Checking to right 24 east at Haywood Lane. The fire department's been dispatched to that location. Also, it's heavy now on 65 southbound there at Trinity Lane as they work to that earlier wreck. It's now starting to pick up out here and give yourself plenty of extra travel time. Hey, buying or selling your home? Call Nikisha and Tony Tate at Exit Master Realty. Call them today, 554-9795. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Do you know why Rocky Williams Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Mount Juliet sells so many cars, trucks, SUVs, and muscle cars? Well, it all starts with a simple idea. Why not give everyone a hassle-free shopping experience for their new or used vehicle with no haggling, no negotiating, and no runaround? Every vehicle on the Rocky Williams lot is marked down incredibly low with the price posted on the window. You're treated with fairness and respect every time. No pressure, just a friendly, warm, inviting staff dedicated to finding the exact vehicle you need. So Rocky Williams Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram has become the original no-haggle, one-price dealer. Go online to rockywilliams.com to see the incredible deals yourself. Every car and truck is listed with a no-haggle low price. This is for real, and you're gonna love it. People drive for miles to get some of the lowest prices in America on their new or used cars or trucks. Go to rockywilliams.com or come on over to our brand new spacious dealership next to Walmart in Mount Juliet.
Don't put off the things you should do today. Start a financial plan with Waypoint Financial Partners. Waypoint, your future, your way. For more information, call the Lebanon office of Waypoint Financial Partners at 615-444-6548. Securities and investment advisory services offered through AXA Advisors, LLC, 212-314-4600. Member FINRA, SIPC, Waypoint, your future, your way. Coleman and Company, it's Monday morning, President's Day, holiday for some, not for us. And let me say this again. I want to mention it one more time. We are carrying most of the Cumberland baseball games here, and of course they're on the internet and available. And Mitch Walters does a great job describing that. But the spotlight's on Coach Woody Hunt. He won his 1600th career win. Was a 9-8 victory over Oklahoma City. And congratulations to Coach Hunt. And Inslee Hagen is my guest. I'm sure you want to say congratulations as well.
Absolutely. He's truly a treasure. I know that everybody realizes how lucky we are to have Cumberland University, number one, but number two, Coach Hunt as part of that. So congratulations.
I want to talk about your job as what the General Sessions Court's about in your Division III. There's actually three different General Sessions judges, and the work, the cases are kind of split up some way, but tell us about all that, if you will.
So Division III was created by the legislature in 2007. Our county commission adopted it in 2008, but it's a little bit different. The jurisdiction of General Sessions is normally criminal misdemeanor type cases or felony preliminary hearings, juvenile cases, both delinquent and unruly cases, truancy cases, as well as civil disputes that are $25,000 and less. Division III is a different animal. Division III has specific divorce jurisdiction, child custody jurisdiction, orders of protection, probate, mental health court, as well as child support. So this division, while it's a General Sessions Court, has concurrent jurisdiction with Circuit and Chancery Court for matters of divorce, child custody, and probate. So that being decedents' estates, conservatorships, guardianships. So it was a little bit different. Judge Hamilton, when he was General Sessions judge, also had that jurisdiction. So this court kind of branched off and took those areas of law from that court because it was too busy. I mean, frankly, back when Judge Hamilton was still hearing divorce cases, people were setting divorce trials out year and a half. And they weren't, that's just not justice. That's not getting things accomplished in a timely fashion. So the Judge Tatum, Judge Hamilton at the time saw the need for the creation of this court, and so they approached our legislators at the time and then the county commission and created this. So divorce cases are now, we're able to set divorce trials within a few months, if necessary, if everybody's ready to do that. A lot of times people aren't, that there's things that have to be done, discovery taken and those kind of things. But it was created because of the workload. And one of the unique things about this, there are 47, I believe, General Sessions courts in Tennessee that have divorce jurisdiction and 35 which have probate. It's kind of not a common thing. Most of the time, those cases are heard in circuit or chancery court. So because of Wilson County's growth, and because our circuit and chancery judges, Chancellor Smith, Judge Byrd, and of course Judge Wooten, who retired, they have 5 counties, and Judge Kane as well. They have 5 counties, so they can't be in Wilson County all the time. Whereas my court, this court, is just a Wilson County court. So it's somewhat a matter of convenience. If people want to get a divorce trial quicker, they're often able to do that by filing in General Sessions Division 3.
Where do you hold court in the same building, same courtroom all the time?
I do. It's in the same courtroom. It's actually the old Fellowship Hall of College Street Church of Christ. And ironically, I grew up in that church. I can remember having Wednesday night fellowship meals right where my courtroom sits. And I was talking to Billy Mullinax before we came on. There's a photograph of the old the College Street Church of Christ Fellowship Hall in the hallway here at the radio station. And I was telling him that it's interesting that I'm seeing that now, and that's where my courtroom is.
Yeah. Are you in court? You got your robe on and call the court to order every day?
I don't use my gavel every day, but I do have my robe on. Absolutely, yeah, I do have my robe on, and you know, we have standing dockets. We have probate on Wednesday mornings at 9. And then when Thursdays is our real busy day, that's our motion docket in the morning at 9 and our orders of protection at 1. The other days are reserved for trial. So Mondays, Tuesdays, the second half of Wednesday and Friday are always reserved for trials or special settings. So divorce cases are kind of an unusual animal, and any lawyers who practice in this know that oftentimes divorce cases will settle at the very last minute. So they might settle the night before trial. Yeah. But you don't know. And what you're having to do is getting 2 people who at one time were in love enough to get married, and now they're at each other and don't want to be married anymore. And so they often don't want to agree until the last minute. And sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. If they don't, they go to trial.
Well, if they go to trial, then you have to make a decision. And I mean, you're the judge. You make the decision, and what you say is the decision. I guess it can be appealed, but I mean, there's a lot of responsibility there, really, to try to do what's right, I think.
It is a tremendous responsibility, and I take that very, very seriously. These are decisions. The decisions that I make as Judge Coleman affect people's lives, both dividing marital property, but often more importantly, their children. Yeah. And, you know, who's going to have the children this amount of time and what kind of schedule that's going to be. Those are decisions, obviously, I don't take lightly. And I have taken many cases under advisement and done some more research and studied some more case law and issued written opinions. I do that fairly frequently, which is not necessarily common, but I think it's necessary. And, you know, I think if people are going to spend the time, money necessary to try a divorce case, they deserve a judge who's going to take it very seriously and make the decision they believe to be the best. You're right. My decision can be appealed, but it goes to the Court of Appeals.
All right. Now, child custody, I would think that would rank awfully high as far as the responsibility of wanting to do what's right here. I mean, none of us are perfect parents, but sometimes there's some really bad parenting, and I guess maybe it's pretty obvious which spouse maybe should have the custody or have them, and I guess most likely all the times you've got a visitation that is allowed. Most times, I would think.
Absent some extraordinary circumstances, the parents are going to have some visitation, albeit it could be supervised. The most difficult cases are the ones where you have 2 really good parents, and often those are the cases that don't settle, that actually go to trial. And yes, the child custody and visitation decisions are the most difficult ones that I have to make, no question about it. But you know, what I do is make sure I give the parties and their lawyers every opportunity to present all the evidence that they wish to present. And then I take that and I apply the law to the facts and make the decision I believe to be in the best interest of the child or children. That's the only thing we can do. And you mentioned we are human. I'm human, and you know, judges are often revered or respected, but we are simply lawyers who have attained this position that happen to wear a robe. And while we're trained in the law, hopefully we're making the best decision. And I'll tell you, it is truly an honor and very humbling experience to be a judge. And I have enjoyed these last 13 months, and I hope that I can continue.
Are there any other particular areas that are quite trying or maybe difficult in coming up with a decision by you as a judge?
Well, dividing marital property, it can get very complicated depending on when a home or piece of land or property was acquired. If it was acquired during or before the marriage, then did the other spouse who doesn't have necessarily an ownership interest, did they make a contribution to its preservation or appreciation? And so that can be quite complicated. Also, when you're trying to determine the value of a closely held business, that can be quite complicated. But really, the money decisions, while difficult, don't weigh as much on me as a judge as the decisions involving the children.
Well, you've been doing this for about 13 months. You're asking to continue to fill out the unexpired term, I believe.
That's correct.
And you're a young fella. What do you want to do the rest of your life?
Well, I hope I can continue doing this, Coleman. I have thoroughly enjoyed serving the people of Wilson County as General Sessions Judge, and I hope to continue doing that. This time I'll run, of course, in March 3rd primary and then August 6th general election, and that will fill out the term which expires in 2022. And then we'll run again. At that point, it will be for an 8-year term. And I hope to continue serving the people of Wilson County. I mentioned to you off air, but Judge Tatum told me one time, said, if you're running unopposed, it means one of two things. Either nobody wants the job or you're doing a pretty good job. So I hope it's the second.
We got about a minute and 15 seconds, and you pretty much wrapped it up then. But anything else you want to say before we let you go this morning?
Well, I just want to brag on, I think that the people of Wilson County are very well served with our 3 General Sessions judges. I mentioned Judge Tatum, Judge Barry Tatum handles juvenile cases, which honestly, Coleman, are probably the most difficult cases. He sees the dependency and neglect cases where parents are not taking care of their children, and those are extraordinarily difficult. But the people of Wilson County are extraordinarily well served by Judge Tatum. Is also Judge Haywood Berry, who hears the criminal docket of General Sessions. He probably has the most number of cases coming through his courts, probably the busiest. But we're also well served by our circuit and chancery judges. Chancellor Smith, I mentioned, Judge Brody Kane, Judge Clara Bird, and of course, we don't know right now who's going to be that other circuit judge. Those folks are working very hard right now. And I traveled Friday. I spent some time in the eastern part of the county putting up some signs for myself, and I saw, I don't know how many signs. I know that Mr. McBride, Mr. Cripps, and Mr. Collins are working extraordinarily hard, and I wish them all the best.
Well, we thank you for being here. Have a nice rest of the day, and we'll see you next time, whenever that is, and thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much.
Inslee Hagen, who's candidate for re-election as General Sessions Judge, Division 3, and that's going to do it for a Monday, and until tomorrow, have a magnificent day.